Hey dog people. If you're a dog trainer or dog business owner and you want to start using Instagram to market your business, but you're overwhelmed at how involved the professional side of social media is, I have a brand new free Instagram launch guide. This guide is going to take you from content consumer to content creator in just 7 days. You can download the guide at www.freedbytraining.com/launch. In this 32-page ebook, I'm going to walk you through the essential things you need to do when starting an Instagram account for your dog business, like setup, branding, creating a posting schedule, and more. There's a simple 7-day checklist included and exclusive tips from top Instagram professionals. Get an actual strategy and a clear plan to start your new dog biz Instagram account completely free. Go to www.freedbytraining.com/launch to download your copy, or click the link in the show notes. Welcome to Dog Training Bytes, the show where canine professionals share their key takeaways, big aha moments, and hardest lessons learned from working with dogs. I'm Mattison, certified dog trainer and behavior consultant, and dogs are my life. Every day I get to coach guardians and other trainers into a deeper understanding of canine behavior. But let's face it, sometimes dog training really bites. And that's okay, because when it does, we learn a lot. This podcast is all about sharing the lessons learned from experience, because the stories of when it got tough or when we made a mistake, that's when we learn the lessons worth learning. And it's time we share those with the world. I'll be talking to dog trainers and other pet professionals about times that working with dogs, well, bit. Not literally. Maybe literally. What's most important here on this show, what did they walk away with? What did they learn? How did it shape their approach today? Welcome to Dog Training Bytes, the show where pet professionals share personal lessons that you won't find in any textbook. Today, I'm speaking with Eddy Daniel, aka Eddy the dog trainer. Eddy studied with the VSA and continued her education with Michael Shikashio's Aggression in Dogs Mastercourse and the Grisha Stewart Academy. She works with pet dog owners in person and online to help with anything from puppy training to behavior modification. Working with Eddy means prioritizing your dog's well-being along a holistic training journey. Hi, Eddy. I'm so excited to have you here.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. This is yet another friendship, relationship that I'm just grateful for the power of social media and bringing people together from all over the world who are just really passionate about helping people and their dogs.
Yeah, I've followed you for a while actually, and I'm a big fan of all of your work as well. And you've had so many people on your podcast where I'm like, I'm just me. Thank you so much for having me.
No, you are the real deal, and I am thrilled to have you here and hear the story that you have to share, because I think that all of us have these just really, for me, the way it's like a crystal clear memory of just this moment that has still impacted my training. And I think that sort of opening the doors and windows and shining the light on those stories and letting people come in to hear this is so important, because we chat, we talk behind the scenes, and I want to share that with people. I think it's valuable. I think these stories are really valuable. So I'm just so excited to have you here. But I do want to start with my typical first question about your dog or dogs, your personal dogs.
Yeah, so I've only got one dog, but he has been a handful. It's like having multiple dogs, I think, sometimes. His name's Rudy, and he's 4 in December. I can't believe how time flies. And he's a tricolor border collie from Wales, from a working farm. And we got him at 8 weeks old. So since he was a puppy, we
Yeah.
were first time dog owners. And yeah, we love him to bits. On a good day, I'm going to start with that. On a good day, he loves his forest walks. He loves to like just run through the forest, chase things. And I do let him, it's safe around here. But he's also like super cuddly. He loves to play tug, like everything's a tug toy. He loves camping. Like we've got a camper van and we love taking him to places. He's the best film and snack buddy as well. Like he'll share popcorn and pizza with me.
Oh my
So
gosh.
he is like literally my best friend. And he's like super friendly with dogs, can read other dogs really well as well. Like I don't know where he's learnt that. Honestly, he's so good. And he's super friendly with people, but it wasn't always like that, which I'll get to in a bit. But that's him in a nutshell, like just this lovely dog.
It sounds like he's been his own journey and lesson for you, but to be in such a good place with him. So is he your first dog, or has this been one of many along a journey?
So our family used to have dogs when I was little, but I have no idea what happened to those dogs. I can't even remember them very well. We had a lot of land back when I was little, and they were just let out. They did their own thing that they needed, and so we never had like pet dogs. So this is our baby. This is our first proper dog.
Yeah, yeah. And that again is its own journey. And I think that there's probably a whole nother conversation that we can have about the maybe expectations that the average person puts on the pet today versus however many years ago,
Mm,
because I think there's been a lot of shifts there and maybe not all for the
yeah.
better.
Yeah, definitely. I've had my mum tell me recently how much I taught her about having a dog, and I was like, "You've had like, so many in your life when I was little, like, but it was so different back then, wasn't it?"
Yeah. What a wonderful thing to have somebody say to you, though. I've just learned so much from you.
Yeah, it was definitely a moment of validation, especially as she's someone who's is pushing for a baby, and I'm like, I've got my own baby that I've raised.
Yeah, very validating moment.
Yeah.
Eddie, I am super excited to hear the story that you brought for us today.
Yeah, so my story, I was thinking so hard about what to bring to the table, but I was like, the most takeaways that I've taken are from my own experience with Rudy, actually. So I thought I can give you a story about us, and I don't want to call it a cheesy love story, but it literally is because
Oh,
I
I'm
went
here for the
from
cheesy love story.
so love stories. So it's like a transitional story and a bit of like character development from me and him. I don't know why I'm doing a love story today right now, but I went from someone who was really excited to get a dog, and I was so ready. I was like, I know what I'm going to do, and he's going to be the best trained dog ever. And it went then into it not being that way. So all the expectations that I have had have been
Yeah.
crushed. And I think I am a quite a sensitive person, but emotionally I have grown feelings of resentment and regret and even hatred towards him at some point. And then obviously the journey that I'll get to, I have become this whole other person and he's become this whole other dog, and I can't imagine a life without him now. He is the reason why I help so many other people and why I work on behavioural cases. So I just thought it'd be a good story to tell, and there's a lot of takeaways from that as well, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So Rudy really is your why.
He really is, yeah. Yeah, so I'll get to it then. So when we first got him, it was lockdown, and we just bought our own house. We were lucky enough to be able to do that. We didn't know much about dogs, like as much research as we have done, because we have done a bit. Like we wanted to be responsible and bring him up right, but clearly not enough. There's never enough research that you can do. But I don't know what it was like in the US, but there weren't many dogs like available, and if they were very expensive during COVID because
Mhm.
everyone was getting a puppy. So what did we do? We went for the first one that was available and the cheapest one on there, and it happened to be a collie from a working farm. So we did research into the breed, and we were like, oh, it's that they need to run around. We love walking. Rob, my husband, used to run a lot back then. We're like, it's going to be fine. He's just going to have a lot of energy, but we go out loads. It's fine. We were super ready. The house was ready. The crate was ready. Food, treats, toys before he got here. And so we went to Wales. We went to pick him up, and there was this litter of puppies in a barn where I at that point as well, we had a list of questions to ask as well, where most of them we didn't get answered, but we were like, it's a dog, it's fine.
Yeah.
We got there. I was like, oh, how is the mum? Where is the mum? Can we see her? the owner said, oh, the mum's out working at the moment. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like it's herding sheep or doing whatever. I was like, that's so cool. So anyway, there's this litter of puppies, and everyone, all of them were like really excited to try and climb up. But then there was Rudy, and he was like at the back, like really shy, and he wasn't trying to get through. But I was like, oh, bless him. And I picked him up, and this is the love story starting. I picked him up, and I literally picked him up and looked him in the eyes, and he had like beautiful blue eyes, that puppy. And I was like, I'm going to give you the best life. I love you so much already.
Just love at first sight.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we put him in the car. We drove back to Manchester. So we lived in the city at the time. And I started the training straight away in the car. I was like, right, home. No, seriously, I was like, positive reinforcement. I need him to be okay with the car. So do you know what I did? I fed him so many treats and told him he's a good boy so many times. He was sick like 5 times. So it didn't go very well.
You were a bit over eager to get started.
This was our first training experience, yes. But then we got home and he was so great. Like we taught him like basic obedience things and lots of tricks. He knew play dead before he was 10 weeks old. That's so cool. So we were smashing it, or so we thought. But then all the puppy fighting started, and he was a shark when he was little, literally. And that also turned into frustration fighting as well.
Yeah.
And it was mostly me that he was against. I was like, this dog hates me.
You're the target.
Yeah, I was. And there was barking day and night, like barking outside on walks when he could go for walks, pulling, lunging towards other dogs. And we couldn't have people over at home because he would bark, he would destroy things as well. And it was just like, this completely different dog.
He said to you, you wanted a dog to be your whole life? Here it is. Here I am.
Literally. And I was like, how do you turn this thing off?
He's a working dog, or from a working line, very driven. And you already taught him everything he needs to know at 10 weeks. What else is left? Right?
Yeah, what else can he possibly want from me? But so these were like all the struggles. Like he was reactive to people, he was like lunging towards dogs, and everything else was a nightmare. And in terms of our lives, at the point where we got him, we were in a really good place. Like we were ready for that next responsibility and step, but not that much. But we were happy with our lives.
Can you ever really be ready for that?
Yeah. And yeah, like I had a really good job as well. Like I was a project manager. Like I have also, this was a point where I like had a dream body. Like I worked on myself, and I was like, I was on this fitness journey where I finally achieved everything that I wanted, and all of this like all these things that made me feel good in a day, like I couldn't do anymore. Like I couldn't exercise, I couldn't leave him at home because he struggled being left alone. We couldn't have friends over. We couldn't go see our friends. So no one could come and see us. We were just isolated. You start to lose your mind at one point, and my patience was getting smaller and smaller. And so those feelings of, and this is getting deep, but I've literally said those words to Rudy, who doesn't understand and didn't. You have ruined my life, I think. I regret taking you on. I don't know what to do. I said to my husband so many times, is it too late to give him up? Because like it's not, we're trying. We tried so hard with everything that we knew at the time. And we want to do it right, but it wasn't working. So yeah, there's like lots of tears daily nearly. And long story short, we came across Amelia Steele, the dog trainer, who's my really good friend now. And because she was Manchester based as well. So we booked in a few sessions with her, and she showed us quite a few things, and we were on a good track to working on those behaviours that were a nightmare, which is great. That's when our lives started to change a little bit for the better. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. It was a good start. And then seeing Amelia work with dogs, coming with Rudy specifically as well, I was like, he was so satisfied after the sessions. He was so well behaved for her. He could do the things that we needed him to do. And so I started becoming interested then. And there was a point a few months later where things happened with my job, and I was unhappy in my job as well. And I was like, and I promised myself that the next job that I'm going to do is going to be something that I am happy doing, something that will, where I can help people in whatever way, and something that will inspire others, because that was just like my little goals that I've always had in my head. And I don't want a job where I'm unhappy. So I'm so intrigued by this like dogs side of things, and I've helped really so much that maybe I'm going to message Amelia and see how did she get into that, because I know she had a different career before. So she recommended or pointed me towards the Victoria Stilwell's Academy, which was amazing. And I decided to take the plunge, and I was like, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna learn whilst I work, and just see where we get to. And I was like a sponge. I was like, I absorbed everything, and I loved every single bit of it. And especially so that everything that I learned, I was able to apply to Rudy. And I saw him literally thrive. And the biggest thing that I've realized through my learning was that he was just scared of everything, and we didn't know what he was trying to tell us. And so basically, this is like months of learning, of me realizing actually he was lacking a lot of confidence and he was very scared. So we started introducing little things throughout his day: choice, safe space, choice to move away, and rewarding that from something he's scared, and problem solving. He had no problem solving skills. Like he couldn't even do puzzle toys. He couldn't even do a puzzle toy. There was a point where he was like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know how to pick up a bowl from under a chair.
Super frustrated. Yeah.
Yeah. And like you try and help it, and it went to a point where you had to show him how to do things, but a little bit, like quite a lot, for him to be able to do things. So we worked on it so much, and you could see him thrive. Like all these other issues that he had just started getting less and less, and he was getting better. And I fell in love with the behavior modification side of things, and training side of things, and confidence side of things, but also reading him better, and him, and how, like, learning how he communicates with us, and how we can communicate what we need from him. And that's, yeah, like it's our relationship back when we started, and now is so different. And so this was like a transitional period then. But now that I know everything that I know, and I'll never know everything. No one's ever going to know everything, but
not possible.
Obviously, no. But I tried so hard to, sometimes too hard to, but like to make him happy, because he deserves after everything he's been through as well. And the first thing that now I focus on is just meeting his needs, listening to him more, and having that communication, rather than asking him to do things for the sake of asking him to do things. And you know what? He still surprises us to this day with things that he is able to do. Like that's last weekend, we went camping in like a holiday cabin with my family, and there was 8 people there that most of them he didn't know. And there was one person that he previously barked and growled at. He really did not like. It's my mum's partner. He's lovely, by the way, but he really did not think that. And he was so well behaved, so chilled. He was playing with everyone. He was just so relaxed.
Wow.
Like completely
totally different dog.
Yeah. So that was such a proud moment last weekend. And nowadays, the things that we do, like our days look different as well. Like it's not just let's take him out for the walk just for the sake of it, to tick it off. Sometimes we have like decompression days where we don't do anything, or we will, because I need my own coping skills as well. Sometimes we'll just sit and breathe together, we'll meditate together, or we'll literally have days where we just play or lay in bed. I get depressed quite a lot, and sometimes I can't even make it out of bed. Him being there, he sleeps with us in our bed most of the time, and he loves to lie in till 12 sometimes. So this is perfect. Like even little things like that where he'll come up to me and lay with me and we cuddle. And it's like there was a point where there was so many points, I'm not gonna lie, but there was so many times where like he was the only thing that I got out of bed for. And I just think I wouldn't be able to do what I do without him as well. Even just simple coming back from my one-to-one sessions with people where sometimes I'm sure like sometimes they get so hard and can be emotionally draining, and I'll come back and just sit on the, like I'll come through the door and we've got stairs to go upstairs and we sit on the stairs together and just cuddle. And I like, and when I get moments where I'm like, oh, I just don't know if I can do this anymore. Like sometimes it gets so hard and I look at him and I'm like, no, I can't, because I've done it with you and you are literally the reason why I do this. And I know I can help other people and I have helped other people through my own experience and through being able to relate to people as well. So he's literally the reason, like you said, that why I do what I do.
Yeah. And it sounds like his journey or your journey with him has really informed your approach in terms of looking at the whole dog, looking at the well-being, everything that you were describing about the work that you did with Rudy. And I could see how this aligns with Amelia's approach is about approaching and working on the actual issue and not just the symptoms and really the root of it. And so many behaviors that dogs exhibit that are problematic for us are not because they don't know how to walk on a leash. It's not because they want to be bad or they're angry or they're disrespecting people. They just don't have the skills to move around the modern human world. And there are missing pieces at their core, right? And so by finding ways to build the confidence, by finding ways to understand the emotions that are happening under the surface. I had a client say to me, our dog is mad at us. Our dog is angry at us. No, he was scared. He was terrified, right? And so if you don't know what you're looking at, it can be very, very confusing. And so it sounds like you were just able to learn how to unravel the mystery of what is driving this dog in a direction that is clearly not really working for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always just go back to that confidence side as well, because by doing simple things, like you put like a puzzle toy in front of a dog and they're just going to go, most dogs are going to be like, all right, cool, did it in 1 minute. He was not able to do that. And it was so weird because like literally you said he's a collie, he should be able to do that. Yes,
they're
he used
built
to
for
be able
problem solving, but
he
he
used to be
was too
able to do
frustrated.
that. So but like little things like that we started introducing throughout his day, and then his behavior outside has changed, his behavior towards people has changed, and just honestly thriving in other aspects of life that I wouldn't even think to connect together. I definitely do try to look at the whole picture with all my clients' dogs as well.
I think that is such a powerful lesson about, first of all, I think just honoring the expectations that you had and allowing yourself to feel maybe a little bit of disappointment when the dog that's in front of you is not the dog that you hoped for, when the behaviors feel overwhelming and isolating, but really just being able to put that aside and move forward and try and, again, look at the holistic dog, look at the root of the issue and not just as a behavior that's causing problems in your life, but seeing that as an opportunity to build something new and to help your dog move into a new phase. Because like you said, he's not the same dog he was a year ago, 2 years ago, however long ago.
No. Yeah, completely different.
Is there anything else you would like the dog people out there to know about you or what you do?
Yeah, so I work with people in person and also online on a coaching basis, and also do one-to-one sessions online and in person. So I am based in South Devon in the UK, in England. So if anyone drop me a message, and my DMs on Instagram, I'm mostly on Instagram, but my DMs are always open for anyone that just wants to have a chat as well, because I know it's so difficult sometimes to find that person that does understand. Yeah, feel free to message me whenever.
You can connect with Eddy on Instagram at Eddy the Dog Trainer, and you can find more information and a link to her work in the show notes. Thanks for joining us in the world of Dog Training Bites, where every challenge brings a lesson worth sinking our teeth into. See you next time.
Dog Training Bites was created, produced, and edited by Mattison Simpson. You can connect with me on Instagram at Dog Training Bites, that's BYTES, and at Freed by Training. For information on today's guest and resources for help with your dog or dog training education, visit www.dogtrainingbites.stream. Looking for more? Listen to my other show, Unpacked, a clinical dog training podcast co-hosted by Sailor Jerry the Dog Trainer and produced by Straight Up Dog Talk, LLC.